My wife hates talking about money so much, she vacuumed her face the night before this episode, and somehow that's still not the weirdest thing that happened. When I mention money, she looks at me like she doesn't know me. I'm Brant Lentzer, and welcome back to Like-Minded Arts, where I want to help you not just become a struggling artist, but a working creative. And today I want to talk about something that freaks people out more than rejection letters, more than bad reviews, more than vacuuming your own face. F.i.r.e. Today I have back with me my beautiful, lovely wife, Colette. We're actually starting into the actual finance discussions that I promised you in all my earlier episodes. I did not forget about them. We're going to be talking about them, and I have my wife here with me, and she struggles anytime that I mention money. My wife isn't alone. A lot of people, especially creatives, get anxious the moment money enters the conversation. Debt, interest, APR, it's like speaking f.i.r.e. What, not everyone has memorized the rules of acquisition? Let me make it simple for you. If it doesn't bring profit, it brings pain.
I got a little bit big-headed, and I thought, let's do this again. And he said, I have a great idea for you. I can teach you finance. And I maybe should not have said anything.
And that's why I wanted her here, because if I can explain this stuff in a way that makes sense to someone who literally blushes at the word budget, then I know I'm doing something right.
Which, by the way, now that I'm talking, my face is red. It's all red around here.
Because she's in love with me. She's just flushing.
That's not where people flush. Sorry, I do love you. I'm just very self-conscious about this, and I thought I can cover it up with makeup, but I can't because I vacuumed my face last night. If you've ever done a face vacuum, it's weird. A lot of things in this world are weird. I did this last night, and I thought this was dumb because I'm going to be on this podcast today. And I can't cover it with makeup because once you open the pores with things like this, it will clog them.
I vacuumed my face once.
I know, but that was just stupid.
I stuck the vacuum on my forehead and I left it there, and I ended up with a big, huge hickey right in the middle of my forehead. And everyone in junior high was asking me what I did, and I told them I fell down and hit my head on a doorknob, and they're like, it really looks like you stuck a vacuum on your forehead. And I was like, no, I seriously fell down and hit my head on the doorknob. That's why it's so perfectly round. But I did.
It's okay.
I vacuumed my face.
Not me, my brother. Well, not a vacuum. He used a tube in my... Okay, but anyway, back on track.
I have stuck a vacuum on my nose before. It sucks out your boogers, but it's really scary because it might suck out your brains.
Can it really?
I don't know. I was assuming it would, so it terrified me, so I didn't do it very often. Kids do stupid stuff. Watch out. Don't let your kids play with vacuums.
No, they should, because I want them to vacuum.
No, they should vacuum, but yeah.
Okay, continue.
Okay, all right. So today I want to talk to you about debt, and debt more specifically as a tool. My wife has no idea what we're talking about, but we are...
I understood that first line.
No. I haven't prepped you with this. I have not prepped her at all.
I've not been prepped.
Yeah, she is not prepped, but she knows what we're talking about. So we're talking about debt, and more specifically, how and when to use debt. And so let's get into this. So to begin with, debt, as we all know, and we've all been warned this, debt does not sleep, okay? It does not rest. It does not go on vacation. If you have debt, you will always be getting charged interest. And stop me and help me understand, or let me know if I'm saying anything that you need me to expound on, okay? Compound interest is the universe's way of punishing procrastination. Okay, so what is debt? Debt is when you borrow money from someone else. Often it's a bank. But it can be anyone. It can be your next door neighbor. It can be your mom. Actually, if you borrow it from your mom, she might not always charge you interest. Now, interest is what you pay. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff, but if you borrow money from somebody, you have to pay them for the right to borrow that money, okay? Because they could use their money for anything they wanted. Maybe they could go out and buy a new car with it. Maybe they could invest it. And here's where it comes in. If they could invest it and make some money off of that investment, why would they give it to you for free? So think about
that's why we have interest.
That is why we have interest. You don't just, when you deposit your money at a bank, they don't just hold on to it. What they do is they take that money and they loan it out to somebody else. Now, they could loan it out to somebody to buy a house. That's called a mortgage. It's still a loan, but they could send it to them. And when you have a mortgage, you have an interest rate. And if you've ever bought a house or considering buying a house, you know that that interest rate is very, very important because it will determine whether or not you can actually afford that house or not. Because you're going to have to make monthly payments, and that interest is added into that payback amount. And that interest has to be there because they could have done something better with their money. And so you're being charged to borrow their money. It is harsh, but it's supply and demand. So
then when the interest rates are higher, it's because there's less supply?
There is less supply when interest rates are higher.
Okay.
Okay, and that's actually how, and I won't get into this one too deep, but that is actually how the Federal Reserve, the government, actually controls how much money is in the economy. This is a deep topic, so I'm not going to go too deep in there. But if they want to increase the money supply in the country and the world, they will lower their interest rates, which means more borrowing, which means more money gets put back into the economy. That's a very deep topic, and we'll go into that maybe in another episode. That's a big rabbit hole we could sneak down, but let's keep it pretty basic on the level here. So interest will keep coming at you if you have a loan, but that does not mean that the debt itself is bad. We've all been warned, or at least I hope we've all been warned, that debt can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous.
It can be dangerous. It doesn't have to be dangerous. It's always dangerous. It's like being a zookeeper and being put in charge of the snakes, okay?
I think lions.
Maybe the lions.
I think lions would be more, well, I don't know. I guess
okay.
Bad. Sorry.
Well, either one, they can bite, okay? But if you know how to handle them correctly, and if you know when it's appropriate to go in their cage, it can be a good thing. But here's the twist. Debt isn't automatically bad. In fact, it can be one of the most powerful tools in your financial life if you know how to use it. In the next video, I'm breaking down exactly when debt is dangerous, when it's actually good, and how to tell the difference with math, a whiteboard, and yes, a genie who tried to sell me 10,000 wrenches. By the way, if you want to catch the whole discussion that me and my wife had, run on over to my podcast. You can find it at lightmindedarts.com or wherever you get your podcast, and you can check out the entire thing there. We didn't have time to put it all in this video. See you then.